All right. Sound funky. Sound funky. We just go with a dead light. It just happens. We'll just make it. I don't care. At this point, I don't mind. Hold on. I've got now that since I've got one light out, I might as well turn them all out as well. I'm a little darker than usual, even without the kidney. Even without kidney. What could possibly be going on? I don't know, quite frankly. I suppose we'll find out sometime, won't we? Welcome to House Sparks, Megaworldwide. Oh, look, it came back on. That's really funny. See, the kidney cures everything. That's amazing. Hello. I say, old bean, how are you? Such a good day. Strange as it might be. Very strange day. Lots going on, needless to say. Hello, chat room. Yes, hello. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Well, here you are again, lovely people that you are. And how are you, fellas and ladies and anyone in between, quite frankly? You're welcome here. You don't have anything to fear around here. Fear not. Have another one of those. This is part of my fuck you collection for people that it irritates. Works like a charm. It's amazing. I should have bought a second one so I could travel with it during the holidays. I'm kidding. Anyways, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the show, everybody. Good folks all around. Super fun. Today, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know what even to call it. We have a bit of the old Trump soup. What I'm about to show you, ladies and gentlemen, if you can stand it, is something that is just fundamentally awful. I can't begin to... Now, this is... You have to believe me, because when I tell you this, let me show you something real quick. This is the warning on the Greg Kelly clip we have today. Ooh la la. The title of which is Greg Kelly reveals the 2 lies that Biden spread to destroy America. And apparently it got it got age restricted or some shit. I don't know what the fuck's in it. I hope this asshole's probably showing like Hamas kill footage or some shit. But it's interesting to me, not even knowing what's in this, that Greg Kelly's clip gets this, and yet this is allowed to be shown on the internet to everyone. Where's the standard? I mean, honestly, will you look at this mess? What the ever-loving shit is going on here? First of all, this is the palest we've seen him in a long time. So he's completely sans orange, and he's got a very reasonable white complexion. If he's so pro-white, why not just be it? Why get all fucking pumpkinized all the goddamn time? You know what I mean? That's my argument why Donald Trump clearly is not a white supremacist, because he keeps trying to make his skin orange. You know what I mean? Like, if you were really a supremacist, you'd go, this shade of just the beige side of Steve Martin is perfect. Also, you're right, he's sick. The other thing too is he's given up on doing his hair. It's never a good sign. I've met a couple of celebrities over the years that have just they've just stopped with the upkeep, and it's not good. It's always a mess. It's not a good sign. A couple of them where I'm like, ooh, all right, you're out in public looking like that, and people know who you are. I mean, it's one thing when a rando stranger goes out and you're like, oh, I saw that guy yesterday. That's bad enough, because then you have history with this person and you see him at CVS for the second time and you're like, eek. But this is a famous person who supposedly glides through life with fame and money, and they're not going the extra mile to just kind of get their shit together. I mean, honestly, he filmed this in one of the fucking shitters at Bedminster or whatever, so it doesn't matter. But he's tangerine supremacist. I agree. He's an orangutan and a supremacist. It's hard to say, but he's got, look at this. That's 3 different videos, ladies and gentlemen. He's cranked these out, and there's a stack of these motherfuckers. You know how he occasionally goes on these tirades? Okay, clearly he's about to get a bad ruling, or he's trying to eat up some newsfeed around the Biden truce. So, let's see. This is just in. Trump tells Biden to bring it on in newly released videos, plural. I don't know if maybe this is more than one and they're stacked here. Maybe they run them together because this one says, Trump rails about legal troubles, celebrates decision to allow him on ballot. I mean, am I wrong? But that's what it looks like he's going. But anyways, and then we will kill it immediately. Trump tears into Biden's TPP-2 trade deal with Asia. Oh, dear. Yeah, he'll have to. And if he does, he'll get another $17 million in his magic Chinese bank account. As a matter of fact, this one's shorter. This is 2 minutes long. Let's jump right into this piece of shit. Let's go for it. Okay. He slams the new TPP-2, and he's looking ragged. I got to say, this is like he's entering Pat Robertson territory. And he's got, can you have a double nunt? I think so. I can't look. Oh, God. I keep expecting it to go like right out of the front of his neck. Not good. Sorry about that mental image. I feel bad. Ooh.
One of my greatest honors as president was to terminate the globalist monstrosity known as Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Or the Trans-Pacific Partnership, but yeah.
My very first day in office.
Oh, yeah, first day in office. And then how many weeks till that $17 million payment showed up in your bank account? Oh, and how long before they helped Jared get out of that fucking 666, Fifth Avenue building? How long did it take? How long was that after that? It wasn't long. It was shortly thereafter, right?
When I did it. TPP was an Obama-Biden sellout of the American worker, fully supported by Ron DeSanctimonious.
But he wasn't anybody yet. Isn't this before he came to you crying? The first day of 2017? What are you talking about?
The TPP would have massacred the U.S. auto industry, and it also would have been a catastrophe for family farmers, but thankfully for the American workers.
Why? Why would it be a catastrophe for American farmers? Why? What are you talking about? These other countries in the Pacific, they're being forced to basically supply food to China at a lower rate. With the U.S. in it, it would actually raise the overall rates. Ugh.
I killed the TPP before it ever could kill you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was a preemptive strike. I don't believe in nuclear preemptive strike, but I do believe in it when whatever it is gets me $17 million in a magic Chinese bank account.
I stopped it immediately right in its tracks.
Right in its tracks. It wasn't even on tracks yet, I don't think, right? It wasn't on track.
Now, crooked Joe Biden is back trying to resurrect TPP under a different name,
Oh no.
but it's really just TPP2. I like fighting number two.
Okay. He can't say the whole name of it because it's like a long. It's like 9 letters now. TPP2.
Correct TPP under a different name, but it's really just TPP2. The entire concept is to
Okay, all right. We got a lot to get through. I'm never gonna.
make it easier to outsource American jobs and factories to Asia.
Hey, dumb fuck. We're almost at total employment. Everybody wants a job, has got one, and everybody's looking still is working or has enough money from their last job to keep looking. What the fuck are you talking about?
By reducing every possible barrier to shipping your jobs overseas while punishing American producers for doing business here at home.
Really? Yeah. Is that what the whole Biden Buy America thing and forcing the federal government to buy American first unless they get like a triplicate waiver that everybody has looked at instead of this bullshit waiver you gave them that allowed like anything that was like 2% made in the United States, even if you fucking farted on it as it came in at a port, that's made in America.
They want to really punish the American worker, including.
Do they? What for? What it just, because it's a kink, because they like it. Because they like it, isn't it? They just give them a little smack on a tushy. Is that what they want? Want to punish the American worker, tie him up and take a riding crop. Just tip, tip, tip. I've seen that. I don't get it, but I've seen it.
Including American auto workers. You're going to be out of business. You better talk to your unions because you're going to be out of business.
Sorry. He's still mad because he was in the non-union shop and he got called out for it, and Biden stood on the picket line, and then they got a deal and everything's fine.
Crooked Joe is doing the bidding of Wall Street, of foreign countries, and of everyone else who owns him.
Everybody? Jesus Christ. So Wall Street and foreign countries, they're on the same page then, along with the enemies of our state. So they're just all together. So I'm glad that you apparently have, I guess, come to your senses that Wall Street means damage to the American system. They're trying to destroy us, and you will treat them like the foreign fighters that they are. You got to tell you one thing about that Biden, man. He's a uniter. He can bring together 8, 10, 15 different parties of people who... What an asshole.
But he's stabbing auto workers, manufacturing workers, and American families in the back.
So they're all facing the same way. Is he just kind of running around like Drax?
Under the Trump administration, TPP2.
I'll be okay. Hold on.
I like fighting number two.
Oh, shit. Oh.
We'll be dead on arrival.
Most people string those words together fluidly who speak, native-born English speakers anyways. They Say that again. will be dead on arrival. That's pretty easy. Rolls right off the fucking tongue, doesn't it? It just, I don't know anybody who has to pause in the middle of dead on arrival.
Trump administration TPP-2 will be dead on arrival. We will kill it immediately.
So you're not gonna wait till it arrives. You're gonna kill it immediately, and then I guess you are gonna allow it to be taken to a hospital though and declared DOA. I suppose.
We believe that other countries should pay for the privilege of selling their products to the American market.
I see. So you're gonna start a VAT tax? Okay. Most of those vehicles, if a job is being shipped overseas, especially an auto worker, it's because they are making American cars overseas. That's the theory. Anyways, fucknut. It isn't. They're not moving. If that, it'd be like Ford moves a plant to Vietnam in this area, and then they make Fords, and then the Fords are sold to Americans because Ford's an American. Please, somebody help me before somebody tells this asshat how where iPhones are assembled.
And we believe that the United States should not have to export American jobs to buy the loyalty of foreign nations.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's the point of it.
That we are paying billions of dollars to in order to defend them. Vote for Trump and we will keep our auto industry intact. We will add jobs in our auto industry instead of losing it, because if
we have been adding jobs.
If you vote for Biden, your auto industry is gone.
It's just gone. It's all gone. You're going to be on skateboards like a bunch of assholes. Oh, no, sorry. Wrong button. Hold on.
Asshole.
There it is. Sorry. It's gone. Just gone. It's gone. You mean like the stock market was going to crash as soon as Biden took office? Remember that? Or in the first month anyways? Oh, sorry, the third month. And then in the 6th month. And then in the 10th month. And then in year number 2. And now, apparently, the only reason the economy is doing well is because he's running on fumes from 3.5 years ago.
We will keep our factories and
where, by the way, the economy was in the complete shitter.
We will keep everything going the way it's supposed to. Our country is a failing nation under crooked Joe Biden. We're not respected anywhere in the world. Our country is a...
Well, we did just negotiate a ceasefire temporarily in exchange for hostages with Israel and Hamas via Qatar and Egypt. So I guess just a little bit of respect probably needed for that. You know what I mean? They're obviously not a laughing stock if that's happening, because you can't laugh through a meeting like that's pretty serious stuff.
Disaster. We're going to make our country great again. There will be no surrender. There will be no problem.
Yeah, no problems. You guys just do this. Just give me the fucking presidency and it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. It's going to be fine again. Fuck you. It's all the bad things will stop. What a fucking toddler. This is amazing. They can't all be this good. I mean, this is cherry. This was fucking great. Please tell me the rest of these videos are this good. You're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide.
Going to happen fast. Thank you very much. One of my greatest...
Thank you very much. You're watching... Okay. Yeah, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/Hal Sparks. And of course, Venmo. Nothing but Venmo. I'm just saying, I'm a great Black Friday deal. Just throwing that out there. Okay, now. By the way, I'm not going to take any of these short insults that are going in the chat room personally, because like when you guys write fucking putts, I'm going to just assume you're talking about Trump. It might be me too, but I kind of don't care. I'm having too good a time. All right, back to this one. Well, we come from the river Jordan, down by the sea, and he came from the river Jordan, down by the sea. He came from the river Jordan, down by the sea. He is Jesus and his friend to you and me. Oh, I'm sorry. There's just such a huge, like, Pat Robertson. Shit. Okay, sorry. I'll do a real show. I'm sorry. This is just so fucking funny. He's so mad. Oh, and where? Lord, it come from the river, and his Jesus sat down on me. Jesus looked down on me. Jesus looked down on me, and the Lord. Sorry. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, it came from the river. I'm going to do this all fucking day. Oh. Whew. A moi. God damn. TPP2. Right. All right. We'll get on with it. Sorry. This asshole thinks he's going to be president. Oh, he actually... No, he doesn't. I'm kidding. He knows he's not going to be president again. I'm just telling you. He knows. That's what this freak out's all about. Okay, so what's he talking about in this one? Oh, this is the Bring It On. Please tell... please tell me that... where's the Jesus on it? All right, sorry. Okay, I'll stop. It's... Bring it on. Shut the fuck up. Okay, here we go.
2024 is our final battle.
Yeah, it's quite a battle before Jesus comes back. I'm serious about it this time. Pat Robertson told me in a dream last night. A final battle. Not so much a battle as an election, but kind of a battle the way I am battling with cognitive difficulties.
With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government.
Warmongers, not mongerers. Warmongers, like fishmonger or spammonger. If you sell lots of spam, it's not mongerer. If I pick on every piece of shit moment in these things, we're never gonna get anywhere. God damn it.
At my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government.
Warmongers.
We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists.
All right, cast out the communists I like. It's alliteration. It's a little chintzy. But move out the Marxists.
Marxists, fascists.
Fuck off the fascists. We'll have the fascists fuck off and foment their phony, full of shit stuff elsewhere. I don't know.
We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country.
That's a little laborious, I gotta say. That one doesn't land. I would have cut it. I would have nixed that one. Yeah. Yeah, I would have just gone, um, I don't know, nix the nihilists, cast off the communists, kick out the communists, kick out the communists, motherfucker, like that. You know what I mean? Something.
We will rout the fake news media. We
Rout the fake news media.
will evict Joe Biden, crooked as you can be. Joe Biden, the worst president in the history.
Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, you gotta do the thing. Oh yeah.
History of our country. We will evict him from the White House, and we will finish the job once and for all.
You mean the one you didn't even bother to do while you were president? What do you mean? Oh shit. Guys, it's still infrastructure week. Finish the job. I thought you finished the wall, but there's more of the wall to finish that you were going to finish later after you finish the part you already finished.
We will make America great again. The stakes in this.
Ooh, that's a... Is that a... Wait, is that them editing this together, or is that him? Yeah, that's them. And new videos really... Okay, so they chained a couple of these together. These are his 1-minute things or whatever.
This election could not be higher. Next November, you have a choice between war, poverty, and weakness under crooked Joe Biden, or peace,
Or war, poverty, and violence under me.
prosperity, and strength under President Donald J. Trump.
Look, even Melania doesn't want to be under President Donald J. Trump. So how the fuck do you think the rest of us feel? I mean, Roseanne's up for it, though. I'm pretty sure you got her number.
Just 3 years ago, our economy was booming. The world was safe.
Yeah, everything was so great 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Remember in the middle... Remember in the middle of COVID when you were like, this is bitchin'. I wish the world would shut down and tens of thousands of my countrymen and women would die unnecessarily all the time.
Safe, and America was strong. Annual incomes went up by more than $6,000 under the Trump administration, and
and then cadavered, and then they've recovered, and then added some more under.
They went down by about $6,000 under the horrible Biden administration.
Horrible, I can't even imagine they went down by $6,000 if you take out the payments from the federal government. You mean that $6,000 that was temporary? That's it. That's what you're gonna call an actual? You're gonna call that a salary increase? Fuckhead. That's what you're going with. You're going with that you ran the third of the deficits, all you, and a big part of it was the payments to people while they were out of work, and you're going to count that as the salary. So I guess the employees of the federal government expanded by fucking everybody.
And the worst in the history of our country. The 30-year mortgage rate reached a record low of 2.65%.
Right, and that's why BlackRock owns most of the rental properties in the fucking country.
We had no inflation.
Yeah, we had a financial collapse. Everybody has inflation. Ours is just the least worst.
And we had gasoline down to $1.87 per gallon.
Well, I thought it was 89. It's gone down 2 cents in his head since the last time we spoke. But also, for the record, that's because, what was it, checks notes, no one was driving anywhere.
Alan, I was also the first president in decades who didn't
to soil himself during several peace treaties.
start a war, and I...
What the fuck are you talking about? You just continued a bunch of them. Also, Biden hasn't started any fucking wars. Biden hasn't started any wars. None. He didn't start the fucking, hey, we're not boots on the ground in Ukraine. We're not boots on the ground in Israel. We didn't start either one of those fucking things. What are you talking about?
brought our troops back home. We defeated ISIS.
No, you didn't. You didn't bring the troops back home, and you didn't defeat ISIS. You finished off the job of ending the caliphate, which Biden, with the Obama-Biden administration, had done 96% of. And then you just let ISIS run wild wherever the fuck they went because you were like, fuck it. If they're in Africa, I give a shit. If they're in Afghanistan, who gives a shit? We don't want to help anymore anyway, so fuck it. And that's why an ISIS K-fighter is responsible for the bombing, who was, by the way, just killed by the Taliban, reinforcing Biden's point that we don't need to be there to fight terrorism.
And that was it. Everybody came back home where they should be.
Yeah, 96 service people came back home in coffins during his presidency, and he was only there for 4 of the transfers. Because at the 4th one of the parents of the fallen was mad at him, and he was like, fuck these people, and he never went back. Mike Pence went to all of them, insofar as I know, though.
Under crooked Joe Biden, the economy is at a shambles, and
it's totally at a shambles. Have you seen the shambles lately? And man, Black Friday's going to be fucked. Nobody's traveling for Thanksgiving. Jesus Christ. It's like $2 to fly first class on United. They just need gas fare. It's fucking sad. They're throwing turkeys out. They're not even bothering to slaughter them first. They're just live turkeys running around because no one's got the strength to eat. Thanks, Dan.
the world is going up in flames.
It is. The whole world is going up in flames. Wait. I think I have something along those lines. One second. Let's see. There'd be a media file. There we go. And I would click on this thing. And then I could go to, let's see. I don't know. Maybe yeah, here it is. Yeah. The world is going up in flames. It's all flaming. Flaming like flames. Flames on my face. Flames.
I like fighting number 2.
Flames all around. Sorry. I made that day before yesterday. I used content aware Phil, which sounds like a guy. I'm surprised there's not a guy named Phil who does Photoshop stuff online that isn't calling himself content aware Phil right now to do a burning golf clubhouse in hell fancy dining room, and this is what they gave me. It wasn't half bad, I gotta say. And then I put the fire in the front, and then if you'll notice, I was very proud of myself. I was like, oh my god, did I just say pro turd? And the words were too spaced, and I was like, what can I do? It just needs something else. So I put what's really going on in his brain in there. Persian, woman, man, camel toe, VD. I know it's stupid. You know it's stupid, but come on, we got to have a little fun. Look at him. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that color change. What's happening? I didn't change. I didn't make him more orange, by the way. That's from one of his other videos. He just he just blew off the makeup. He looked caramelized, for fuck's sake. It must be the fire.
Incomes have gone down by $7,400 per family.
Because you count the money given to them by the government that went away because it was temporary. One moment. I had to sneeze. I get a little tickle when there is what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. Bullshit. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm allergic to that. Just especially when there's too much of it. You know what I mean?
Under Crooked Joe, gas prices are $4, $5, $6, and $7 a gallon.
And still people won't stop driving. Fuck is wrong with you people? Even electric car sales have been muted, even with the price going up. The fuck is wrong with you people? Stay home like you did in the last days of my presidency.
Cumulative inflation is nearly 20%.
Cumulative inflation. If you keep going up on what was up and you take out the parts where it went down, it's like all up.
And mortgage rates are pushing a brutal 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%.
They're 7%. But he has to keep going up, I guess, because 7% doesn't sound like a bad number, I got to say. I think my parents, the mortgage on our house was like 19% when I was a kid. As a matter of fact, oh, it's too loud. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think they measured the audio on this. By the way, I think it's some of them it'll be louder than the others. Also, you guys remember in Ghostbusters when they got the third mortgage on Egon's house to pay for the business? And it was, remember that? Where he's like, don't worry about it, Egon. Everybody's got 3 mortgages these days. Or it was Aykroyd's house, right? It was, yeah. And he's like, don't worry about it. Everybody's got 3 mortgages these days. But at 19%, he didn't even bargain with the guy. This is 1984, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Good Lord.
And you can't get the money.
You can't, yeah. Even if you wanted to be fucked by this number, you can't. Because people are holding on to their houses.
We have war in Europe. We have wars in the Middle East. And
that's never happened before.
We are stumbling into World War III. That's what's going to happen.
Wait, I thought we were on the brink of it. Then we were teetering. Now we're stumbling into it. Are we fucking drunk? Is that what's happening?
Happen with this leadership because they don't know what they're doing. The contrast could not be more stark. The road back to peace, stability, prosperity, and security for your family begins with a landslide Trump victory.
After about a year and 3 months. More of this. So just hold your nose and trudge through hell, and if he can manage to get the primary, and which is doubtful, and if he is able to get through the general, which is impossible, and he becomes president again January of 2025, we'll be stumbling into World War III, I don't know, about 3 days before then, maybe. What do you think? January 18th, something like that? Wouldn't it be funny if it was on January 6th? Oh, the irony.
In 1 year from now, we will make America great again, greater than ever before.
My God, Teb. My God, Teb. My God, Teb. My God, Teb. That's my God, Teb? Yeah.
Thank you.
Magoo.
Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats are trying to pose as the defenders of democracy, but in fact, they're the ones destroying our democracy.
Yeah, that's how they get you, I guess. That's just the old switcheroo.
Democracy. Crooked Joe and his henchmen have tried to shut down free speech with a massive government censorship operation to silence their critics.
And yet, here you are, posting your videos online with no problem, along with everybody else, because it's the internet.
They're putting Douglas McKay in jail for sharing a joking meme about Hillary Clinton 7 years ago. Nobody ever heard of anything like that.
Sorry, Douglas McKay for putting a joking meme. What's the meme that she should be hung or something? Let's see, Douglas McKay, I guess. Fuck, Clinton, whatever. Douglas Mackey. Oh. Oh, I see. Yeah, social media, Douglas Mackey sentence, there we go. Okay, so all he did was, guys, post a meme about Hillary Clinton, right? That's all. Let's run that by me again, shithead. About
Hillary Clinton 7
Hold on.
In jail for sharing a joking meme about Hillary Clinton 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's a joking meme. It's just making fun of her. You know, it's probably a fucking Monica Lewinsky joke or something like that. It was probably just something like that. One second. Huh. U.S. Attorney's Office, Eastern District of New York. Social media influencer Douglas Mackey. Sorry, hold on. 1 second, shithead. How do you pronounce his name again? I may be getting it wrong. Don't pause me.
in jail for sharing a
Oh, wait, back up.
their critics. They're putting Douglas McKay
You say McKay, I say Mackey. You say MAGA, I say Magagteb. Mackey, McKay, MAGA, Magagteb. That's a. All right, I'm fine. Defendant attempted to trick voters into believing they could vote by text message. Douglas Mackey was sentenced today by the United States District Ann B. Donnelly, probably Donnelly, to 7 months in prison for his role in conspiracy to interfere with potential voters' right to vote in 2016. Known as Ricky Vaughn, was previously convicted as a charge of conspiracy against rights at trial by a federal jury in Brooklyn. Mackey was convicted of the charge in March 2023 following a 3-week trial. Breon Peace, United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, acting blah, 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 they all did it. One of the foundational rights, okay, blah, blah, blah. As proved in trial, by 2016, Mackey had established an audience on Twitter with approximately 58,000 followers. Chicken shit. I have more than that. But I was encouraging people to vote legally, even if I disagreed with them politically. So there is a slight difference. A February 2016 analysis by the MIT Media Lab ranked Mackey as one of the most significant influencers of the then upcoming presidential election. Between September 2016 and November 2016, Mackey conspired with other influential Twitter users and members of private online groups to use social media platforms, including Twitter, to disseminate fraudulent messages that encouraged voters of presidential candidate Hillary Clinton to vote via text message or social media, which was legally invalid. For example, on November 1st, 2016, in or around the same time that Mackey was sending tweets suggesting the importance of limiting black turnout. Lovely guy. Terrible that he's been just defamed so horribly by our Justice Department, if you want to call it that, and I don't. The defendant tweeted an image depicting an African-American woman standing in front of an African Americans for Hillary sign. The ad stated, avoid the line, vote from home, text Hillary to 59925, and vote for Hillary and be part of history. The fine print at the bottom said, deceptive image said, must be 18 or older to vote, 1 vote per person, must be a legal resident, voting by text not available in Guam, Puerto Rico, Alaska, or Hawaii, paid for by Hillary for President 2016. The tweet included the typed hashtag, I'm with her, a slogan used by them, thousands of unique telephone on or about before Election Day 2016, thousands of unique telephone numbers texted Hillary or some derivative of the 59925 text number, which have been used in multiple deceptive campaign images tweeted by Mackey and his co-conspirators. Several hours after tweeting the first image, Mackey tweeted an image depicting a woman seated at a conference table typing a message on her cell phone. The deceptive image was written in Spanish and mimicked a font used by a Clinton campaign in authentic ads. The image was also included a copy of the Clinton campaign's logo and the I'm with her hashtag. Case was investigated by the FBI. Hey, look where he's from. What are the fucking odds? This is, who knew that Douglas was a neighbor of Jeffrey Epstein? What are the odds? So, yeah, there we go. So here, ladies and gentlemen, Douglas all right. What an asshole. Yeah, he was just a racist piece of shit trying to get people to vote.
in jail for sharing a joking meme about Hillary.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. Guys, it was just a joke using all the, promotional elements of her campaign and the same hashtags and yeah. But it was like a joke.
Hillary Clinton 7 years ago. Nobody ever heard of anything like that.
No, you know who heard about something like that? Him. He had also been convicted in Brooklyn of similar shit. Also, for the record, he had co-defendants, other people who engaged in it with him. It wasn't just him by himself. Shitheel.
They have 4 bogus criminal cases trying to put their leading political rival, me, in prison. Let's put him in prison. He's leading by a lot. There's no way we can beat him. Let's put him in prison.
Yeah, I think these are unrelated. I mean, you can argue that you're doing well in some polls that you paid for, and we'll get to that later. But the whole prison thing is because of shit you did. Much of it during your time as president and stuff after. Which I mean, totally an unforced error in so many ways.
They're running police state operations to infiltrate.
Oh, look, a little, giving Dinesh D'Souza a little. You think he just did an interview with Dinesh and he's fresh off that?
The Catholic Church as if it were a communist country.
Catholics, communist Catholics. I mean, it's alliteration, but I mean, he does know the president is actually Catholic and actually goes to mass, right? He does know that.
They're persecuting Christians and pro-life activists. They're persecuting anybody they want to persecute.
Really? Well, why don't they want to persecute me then? You know, a little naughty persecution. What's wrong with that? Come on. They're just willy-nilly persecuting anybody. It's not even politics at this point.
They've labeled.
Yeah, they don't give a shit whether he's running or not. They just don't like his fucking face.
Ordinary Republicans.
I'm sorry. How do you say ordinary
Persecuting
again?
anybody they want to persecute. They've labeled ordinary Republicans.
Ordinary. All right. Say that again.
Persecuting anybody they want to persecute. They've labeled ordinary Republicans.
Ordinary. Okay.
And parents at school.
That was verging into like Chewbacca zone.
School board meetings as potential domestic terrorists. They're resettling millions of migrants into our communities, destroying our country.
Resettling them? I mean, so what are these people, like Native Americans that left the country and they're being brought back? They're resettling them. All right.
Like it's never been destroyed before.
They're destroying our country like it's never been destroyed before.
Communities destroying our country like it's never been destroyed before.
Yes, you're right. It's totally different from the way you destroyed it with, like, actually fucking up a pandemic, let's just say.
They're calling our citizens criminals. They rigged the last election.
You do realize that America does have a lot of criminals that are citizens. I don't know if you're aware of that. It's one of the reasons why we have so many people incarcerated, because these fuckers did some bad shit. Yeah. And a good portion of them would keep doing it if we let them. So we have big cement buildings for those people. As a matter of fact, I hope you get a tour of one pretty soon. And you abolish prison motherfuckers better not make headway right about the time we get this dickhead in jail, okay? Knock it off. You're not gonna you motherfuckers have done enough damage. You're gonna abolish prisons right as we fucking get him thrown in one? Fuck you. Give me at least 25 years. Then we'll talk again about abolishing prisons. I don't know what we do to replace them. I don't know, is Ted Bundy, the Ted Bundys of the world, they're gonna move in with you? How's that work exactly? What is the rape section of your neighborhood? Where do they stay? How about that?
Election, they rigged the Democrat primary, and they're trying to get their rivals thrown off the ballot everywhere they can.
They can. I'm in the middle of sentences. I don't know where the punctuation goes. I'm like Christopher Walken, only less charming.
And they're constantly trying to delegitimize the Supreme Court of the United States and threatening conservative judges with violence.
No. Clarence Thomas is you're going to talk about influence peddling, motherfucker. Nobody's threatening him with violence. They just had to they had to create an ethics standard. Ouch.
In short, nothing about crooked Joe Biden and the anti-Democratic Party has anything to do with defending.
I see. The anti-Democratic Party that means they're anti-democratic, but it's still a party, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Democracy. So if Crooked Joe wants to turn this election into a question of which candidate will defend our democracy and freedom, then I say, bring it on. Let's go, Joe. Bring it on, because you are a corrupt person.
And as soon as I get in there, I'm going to throw out the rule of law and enact revenge on anybody that fucked with me and put loyalists in every position, just like Bibi Netanyahu did. And even though people hated it, he still got away with it, and he's still in power. So I'm going to try that on I'm going to pretend to hate him and then do exactly what he did. Bring it on, Joe.
You're the most corrupt president in our history.
I am. What the fuck I haven't even been president yet. I will be one day. But not yet.
And by the way, the most incompetent president.
How can you be the most corrupt and the most incompetent? Again, the most corrupt criminal in the world, or the most incompetent criminal in the world would accidentally be a police officer. Wouldn't they accidentally inform on themselves?
In our history.
He's so incompetent as a crook that he's a good guy. I don't know how that happened. It's so fucked up.
Because Americans don't like tyrants, we don't like fascists.
That's why, that's why you lost the election last time.
We don't like communists, and we don't like crooked Joe Biden. You just have to look at the polls. With your vote on Election Day 2024, America will be a free nation once again.
Yeah, because right now he's doing this from jail. He's a political prisoner. He's behind one of those Hannibal Lecter screens. They frame it in a little bit so you don't see the little air holes underneath it, so he can smell, that some days you wear l'air de temps, but not today.
We will be free and we will be great. Thank you. 2020.
We will be free and we will be great. Thank you. Day one, I won't even have to do anything. It'll be everything Joe Biden did except me in charge. And that's how you make America great again. He got the infrastructure bill passed. He's got an electrical grid like no other. He's removing all the lead pipes. NATO's rebuilt and we're respected again in the world. And I'll just sit there and soak it in, bitches. Just soak it in. Okay, there's a third one of these. All right, here we go. Wait, no, is this one it? Okay, this is our Trump rails about legal troubles, celebrates decision to allow him on the ballot. Here we go. This is the.
He is very concerned. He hoped he could find a Democrat judge.
Also, can't you start in like a moment before you actually speak? Fuck.
Crooked Joe Biden is very concerned.
He is. He's very concerned. Well, there's a lot of things in the world to be concerned about. You ain't one of them, but...
He hoped he could find a Democrat judge to do his dirty work and illegally remove my name from the ballot. But the...
Why would he... That's a state thing.
4 biggest cases to strike us from the ballot have officially been defeated. Mm-hmm. The verdict is in. Joe Biden will be forced to face Donald J. Trump in the 2024 election.
If you win the primary, the Iowa governor just endorsed Nikki Haley. I got news for you. It's going to be a squeaker in a bunch of places that he thinks he's going to run away with it.
Most important election in the history of our country.
Oh, totally. Definitely not 2020, which was the most crooked, the most rigged.
And judging by the polls, we're going to beat him.
Sorry, and ginging by the polls?
The history of our country. And judging by the polls.
And ginging by the polls. Ginging by the polls. Dum-dum-dum-dum. Ginging by the polls. Sounds naughty. I don't know what it means, but you gingers out there, maybe you could explain it to me with a wink and a nod and a...
Election, the most important election in the history of our country. And judging by the polls, we're going to beat him in a very massive landslide. We have no choice, because if we don't beat him, we're going to have a country that is a total disaster where it's heading right now.
It's not. I thought weren't we in hell and going to hell and in the tubes and in hell at the same time right now? I'm so confused. Can someone draw me a map of where we are in terms of hell?
It's already there.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Well, then shit. Jesus Christ. Sometimes it's like he's listening to me. So we're going to hell. We're already there. We're in hell. I'll get you out of hell. I'll pull over. I'll be in the tow truck out of hell.
We're going to have a country that is a total disaster where it's heading right now. It's already there.
I think I don't know if the people that write this shit up keep putting like the country's going to hell in the tubes and down the tubes into hell and it's gonna headed towards disaster and brink and he just thinks it's already there because his fucking life is on fire.
So now let's show Crooked Joe just how badly he's going to lose by crushing our fundraising goal for the month of November.
I see. These all went out. The reason these aren't on his Rumble page and why they're private on there is because these went out in fundraising emails.
These fake political cases brought against me could have been filed many years ago.
You're right. They've had plenty of evidence for a very long time. But apparently Bill Barr blocked some of it.
But these crooked and biased prosecutors working closely with my
Wanted to look at the evidence first.
Political opponents in Washington, D.C., Crooked Joe Biden and his group waited and waited and waited.
The Bidenettes? The Robinettes, that's what it is. It's Joe Biden and the Robinettes. That's right. I always forget what the name of his group is.
And then filed them right in the middle of my campaign for president. They could have.
Well, in their defense, they did tell you they were convening a grand jury, that you were going to be indicted, and you decided to run for president early so that it would look like it was in the middle of your campaign, although you had been notified that you were going to be indicted before you ran.
Filed them years ago. Why do you think that Fonnie and Alvin and Letitia and
call them by the first names. I'm so glad you're getting so close to them that you can call them by their first names, and it still doesn't do you any good.
Of course, the deranged one, Jack Smith.
We're the good old Biden boys brothers band from Chicago.
Took so long and very publicly, they leaked everything.
No, they didn't. One of your co-defendants leaked the video that you're talking about.
Started their work so late.
Also, for the record, remember what we say here, kids. You can't leak a lie.
Could have started it years ago.
That's right. I mean, you don't have to tell it. You're preaching to the choir, brother. Me and my chat room, we agree. There's plenty of fucking evidence. But here's one of the things, is they had to go after your finances before they could go after you criminally, because that lowers the chances that one of your wacko followers will murder a bunch of people if they realize what a fucking fraud you've been this whole time. So they go after you financially first, and then they go after you for the crimes that you committed. Now, it was very difficult because you kept committing new crimes, which made the whole thing so complicated.
It's called election interference and prosecutorial misconduct.
And all four of those words are very hard to say.
It's all done because they want to win an election, even if they have to use illegal means to do it. Our country is
the fade. Thank you.
Under the
They're just he just says, by the way, on these videos, he just says, thank you. And that's it. Right after that thought, he just says, thank you. Or they fade out.
Highest level of threat ever. And yet all the DOJ and FBI want to do is go after Donald Trump. Let's go after him.
Yeah, let's get that Donald Trump. They're just letting terrorists roll in here. They're just, people are walking by them with fertilizer bombs, giant drums with a big wick rolling out. They're just rolling it down the street. And they're like, fuck him. Let's get that Donald Trump out. Let's get it.
They're going to be
let's get that Donald Trump.
Here I am like an idiot. And Donald Trump's family. It's so sad.
Isn't it?
Our country's in bad shape.
No, we're getting through a patch. You know, it's been rough around the world. I mean, your buddy Orban over there and Erdogan, the two guys you keep mixing up their fucking names, two of the worst cases of inflation on earth right now. Poor fucking guys. And I thought the whole strongman thing was supposed to save you from that shit, but I guess not.
We're corrupt. We're not run properly. Our borders are open.
No, they're not. And if you try to if they were open, that dude wouldn't have actually rammed his car into one of the things at the bridge today, because he wouldn't have had to. He would have just driven his explosive car to somewhere else.
Are rigged. And what do they want to do? Let's go after Donald Trump. You'll see crime like you've never seen it before
I thought we already had.
because all of these people coming in illegally from the southern border.
Yes, obviously it's the southern border. Anybody comes across the northern border, they're just here to take your high-tech jobs. But then if they come across the southern border, all right.
They have bad intentions. So many of them have bad.
They do. They just like, hey, is this the line to fake asylum so that I can come in and kill a bunch of people like a fucking stereotype in a movie that Donald Trump kinda halfway watched in 1987?
Bad intentions.
Essay.
Got to watch our country.
We do got to watch our country. Okay, everybody, break. Somebody pick a section to watch. Hold on, I'm gonna go look out my window. All right, seems fine, but I'll keep checking.
You don't have to worry about me. You don't have to worry about my family.
I don't, believe me. None of us do. Thanks for saying that, but it really wasn't necessary. I know I'm not worried about you or your family at all. You're dealing with everything you should have to deal with. So
Focus on violent crime.
all right, I will, but it'll be difficult because it's not as funny.
Because there's a lot of it in this country, more than ever before.
No, it's right. Per capita, we're right around the lower half of the 90s. Yeah, it definitely came up. You know, the big spike was in 2020, so you're seeing a lot of the cases from 2020 and early 2021 because of COVID. You know, they're starting to come to trial, so you're seeing a mix of the story from when they actually happened, people acting like it just happened just now, when in fact that person has been held in detention since then, waiting trial because they were, you know, it was a violent act, that kind of thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Why doesn't the total implosion, he admitted on the stand that he lied, of the Attorney General of New York's state star witness end this witch hunt?
Oh, he means Michael Cohen. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about? Slow down, champ. You can't start mid-story, Gramps.
Once and for all.
Once and for all. Well, how come when he said, I don't say things directly, I use mafia talk, why didn't that kill this case right away?
It's a political witch hunt. That's all it is.
Oh, all right. Well, I know you like that analogy, but does it affect your analogy at all that a good portion of your party, including your current speaker, are actually believe witches should be hunted down? I mean, I don't suspect they think they should be burned at the stake, but I think they think they should be shunned like they were in a fucking Amish village.
This so-called witness, a star witness, admitted on the stand that he lied. He said right on the stand.
For you. Yeah. That's it. Again, if he's admitting that he lied, he's in truth-telling mode. Or he lied that he lied about you before, and what he said about you to protect you back then was false. In which case, the same truth comes out.
I lied.
I lied. Is that what he said? Did he wail? Did he look up at the sky with his hands open like Jimmy Swaggart? I have sinned against you. Like that? Did he pull off one of those?
Admitted on the stand that he lied. He said right on the stand, I lied.
Oh, I lied. Take me from this place. Tie me to the whipping post. Give me what for? Tie me to... My God, everybody in his head talks like the snake. Darling, oh silly woman, oh I lied.
Looked like Perry Mason at the end of the show.
Run that by me again.
Right on the stand, I lied. It looked like Perry Mason at the end of the show.
It looked like Perry Mason at the end of the show. No, because at the end of the show, in that analogy, Perry Mason would have been on the side of the state, and the guy who was supposed to go up there, your fixer, admitted that he lied when he was protecting you. So that would, you'd still be the villain in that Perry Mason episode. That's fucked. You would have, if it had been played by somebody with real charisma, they would have stood up and gone, "I'll get you, Cohen, you're going down for this. Restrain that man. Oh, Perry Mason." You know, they would have drug him off like that, something like that.
And that I never told him or anyone else to inflate the numbers on my financial statements.
No, you just told him what it should all add up to. Now figure out a way to make these small numbers add up to this big number, which mathematically doesn't happen. But I didn't say inflate the numbers to do that. I just said make these numbers look like this number, which would involve inflating these numbers.
In fact, the numbers are very low or very conservative, the exact opposite of what this ridiculous rigged case was.
Yeah, one of the numbers that isn't low, though, is how many floors in 40 Wall Street? Because to my recollection, you said it was a 70-story building, and it's a 72-story building, and it's 63. That's not a low number. That's an extra 10 floors that don't exist. Now, my question is, those magic 10 floors that don't exist, did they not exist below ground, under the building, or do they not exist in the sky above it? And if you know the right code, and if you believe Peter Pan, you can walk out onto the roof and start walking in the right spot. Oh my God, I'm going up, 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 even though there's nothing here. Conservative.
The lawsuit is all about. The fraud is by the judge and the AG, not by me.
Yeah, not by me. They made me say my apartment was 3 times the size it was.
Because they put in numbers that they knew were way too low.
He just, right now he's having a flashback from the moment he walked out of court, one of the many moments he walked out of court. This is just the same shit he said when he came out and rambled at the reporters out there. Can we get a better shot of that? Because I didn't like the lighting. People could see my hair looked like shit, and I didn't look sufficiently orange. Oh, damn.
They valued my assets at a tiny fraction of what they should be. As an example, Mar-a-Lago, they valued it $18 million.
Yeah, that's what it's valued at for tax purposes.
Mar-a-Lago at $18 million, and it could be 50 to 100 times that much.
Nope. Not unless it stops being a club and then you could bulldoze the fucking thing.
The judge created a fraud, and the AG created a fraud. They're the ones that should be prosecuted.
I'm convinced. I don't know about you guys, but that's all I needed to hear. Case closed. It's the same shit. Sorry about that. Like the first one was so much more fun. Whoops. I opened the wrong. No, okay, here we go. So, all right. I don't know what this one's going to be, and I'm worried. Hold on one second. I'm going to check something real quick. Oh, the Greg Kelly thing is him relitigating the George Floyd thing from a movie called The Fall of Minneapolis by Alpha News. And so it just shows footage of people being, like, abused. So, and nah, we can skip that then. I just wanted to check that. But speaking of abuse, ladies and gentlemen, no greater sign. And by the way, you're watching House Sparks Megaworldwide. I am the Democratic machine. I am the establishment. I am the deep state. I may not hit bottom, but I'll scrape the shit out of the sides. And I'm glad you're here. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, etc., etc., etc. Now, you can to my immediate right, your left, you'll find Roseanne Barr. also known as Roseanne Arnold at one point, I think, and also just Roseanne for most people's recollection. She's right up there with Cher and Sting and Trump and Cat Turd. So yeah, Roseanne. Roseanne apparently is no better example to explain that we are, as a country, in hell right now. A baby eating, necrophiliac, pedophile, lizard people, space alien, QAnon hell, which is anyone can see it. Now you might push back on me saying that, like, how? But she looks like she's living in relative comfort. She's getting her hair done. She's wearing a Blondie shirt, which I find sad because I have a hard time believing she listens to music at all. Also, it's sunny outside and there's lots of greenery and white furniture. Now, I don't know a lot about the end times. I've had my nightmares like many of you had, and as a big post-apocalyptic sci-fi fan, I have a general idea. I like The Walking Dead till they killed off Glenn. But one thing I do know is during the apocalypse, or certainly the immediate aftermath, white furniture is fucked. Yeah, I'm just saying it's a mistake. You're gonna want, I don't know that you're gonna want leather, but you're gonna want like that vinyl you can clean off. You know what I mean? I think that's important. Yeah, because it's just gonna be a mess. You know what I mean? For that fire and brimstone, and there's demons and zombies, and obviously pestilence. Pestilence. So you're never gonna. I mean, that's like nobody wears white pants in the apocalypse unless they're Jesus Christ themselves, or the Antichrist, I suppose, would also kind of just showing off. But yeah, so this is and she's got on Rudy Giuliani because it's not enough to have one disgusting lunatic in this video. We need two. And the title of this is Biden is in love with Iran. That's right. Biden is in love with Iran. By the way, ISIS and Iran are mortal enemies. And anybody that would destroy ISIS's caliphate is helping Iran, whether they mean to or not. Just saying.
In 2012, right, on a socialist thing, because I wanted to run against Obama, who's...
Oh, she was running in 2012 on a socialist thing. So she's, a lot of her followers think that she's a chaos agent who's sent by the Mossad because she's Jewish to undermine the movement and embarrass Trump. And they look back on, the fact that she ran as a socialist and that she grabbed her crotch and spit after singing the national anthem and all that shit. And they think that she's not a convert, that she's actually a mole, just to catch everybody up on the lunacy that is sort of like this. Almost like you need a lunacy translator. Sorry. Okay. And the audio is a bit loud. Excellent. I will fix that if I can. Okay.
Scared me.
Right.
But I was like, well, let's get naked if we're going to talk about socialism.
I don't think that's required. God, I hope not. I mean, it's bad enough seeing Richard Wolff's face.
Not that fake stuff you're talking about, Obama. And I confronted all of that as a real socialist, right? And
no, not right. No, not as a real socialist. No.
Then I saw what was frightening to me was the amount of...
That socialism is a bridge ideology that leads to communism, according to Stalin and Mao Zedong and people like that. And you just didn't bother to... Well, a true socialist wouldn't bother to read up on that stuff, I suppose.
Jew hating that was within the left. It was just starting.
Wow. You just said Jew hating. Wow. If I could get an erection, I would have. Wow.
And everywhere I would go in America to speak about, Americans and profit sharing, which, in some way they could say is a socialist thing, but it's right.
Profit sharing is not socialism. There's not even any profits in socialism. It's just productivity.
Right.
Yes.
It's the
Sure.
right thing.
Sure.
Right? So everywhere I would go to speak, these people who were American, they would their first question to me was, what about the like robots, what about the Israeli occupier of the West Bank and the Palestinian homeland? What about that? Whatever.
I'm gonna okay, sorry, it's a little bit loud still. Sorry. I'm gonna go with that's not the first thing people came up and said to her. I'm gonna go with the three people that said something along those lines halfway into a fucking conversation are all she remembers of that time. Just for the record.
What is and their voice would be like this, like a robot. And I'd say,
or you remember them as being monotonous because you were in the habit of ignoring people back then and still are. Roseanne, I don't understand why you won't have me on your podcast. Besides the fact that I'm not coming to your house. Because your son freaks me out.
Excuse me. What about what do you know about stand your ground gun laws in this state that you live in,
Right.
What? Because that was around the Trayvon Martin time.
Right.
I go, what do you actually know about the law in your community that controls your entire life and you want more of that shit?
Right.
What do you know about reality? And they'd be like, don't.
Wait a minute. You're arguing with people who they want, those people that you would be talking to, the left, quote unquote, at your socialist rallies that are asking you about Israel occupying Palestine are not pro stand your ground laws, dum-dum.
Try to change the subject from the racist apartheid state of Israel. So I had to get out.
What is he nodding at? You weren't with her then. She was barely talking to you when this shit was happening.
There. And plus I had a Muslim
just on retainer or
woman as my campaign manager and somebody from a man from Nation of Islam here in America who was
well, yeah, it's kind of an American organization.
A pro-American Muslim man who
sorry. We're not talking about Farrakhan, are we?
Did all these great things in Texas for children and education.
Yeah. I mean, like Mike Johnson has, or Dennis Hastert did, or Mark Foley did, or any number of youth pastors have done. They do a lot of great stuff for kids.
And a black woman as my also campaign manager. Well, these white people on the left, they got in their face and they said,
oh dear.
They called them not the right kind of Arab, not the right kind of black man, not the right kind of black women. And
I think she means that literally. But I also don't know if she's just filling in racial slurs with that.
I was like, you're ungodly racism. I can't stand it.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely true.
Projection. And so that's why I left.
Maybe I'm just going to go out on a limb because this seems to be an ongoing refrain with Roseanne's view of the world. Maybe it's your fans. Maybe you've just cultivated a clique of people, the kind of people that would come see you, or the kind of people that would take what you were doing seriously or would think it was a lark and thought it was just like a trolling campaign. Whoever it is, whoever you're drawing, that's who you believe is a reflection of the country. It ain't. It's a reflection of you.
Left and my platform was very much a populist platform.
Like most socialists.
Then I had interviewed Trump in 1998 on my talk show, and I told him at the time, had him and Michael Moore on as guests, and we all three debated, because back in that time it was legal to debate and converse. You know, it's still legal.
Well, I mean, it's still legal to debate. It's just now you assholes all cower together. You have a podcast literally where you only bring on sycophants who already agree with you.
We were talking about capitalism versus, we were talking about economic systems.
Yeah, capitalism versus fucking whatever else is the thing that there's a thing that they have. That there's also a thing. There's other isms. I don't know. Off the top of my head, honestly, I'm going to go with jingoism. No, that has something to do with Santa Claus, I think.
And Trump won like a SOB. He flattened Big Fat Michael like, a pancake. And
am I the only person that's creeped out by this groper's fucking laugh? Yikes.
I said, you ought to run for president. And he shrugged me
Oh, so it's your fault.
off. Well, here it comes. I had just run for president. Then I hear Trump speak, and he's saying so much of what I said.
Yeah, nobody's ever accused him of being original.
That I was like, oh my God.
He stole from me. He's a fucking thief. I fucking hate that guy.
God, he's for real.
He is for
He's for real. You can tell he's real because he stole my fake populism, and now he's pretending to believe it.
He is.
it's
for
an amazing
real.
thing that people and you can understand it because he came up as a celebrity, and they, by and large, they just
No, he didn't. He became a low-res celebrity because of The Apprentice. He came up as a New York dickhead, as like a cross between American Psycho and Bozo the Clown.
trust a lot of the celebrities, particularly people who would be inclined, middle class people, and but I think they picked up
Middle class celebrities
right away that he makes decisions the way
idiots do, impulsively, the way a rapist does.
our old-fashioned politicians used to make decisions. What's right
You mean the guys who were in smoke-filled rooms that made deals with captains of industry during the robber baron era, that kind of shit?
for America?
Yeah, what's right for America?
Now, he could be right or wrong about that, but that's what he's thinking about.
Yes, he is.
Then
It was wrong most of the time. The irony is that is it better to have somebody who thinks they're doing what's right for America but gets it wrong, or someone who thinks they're getting what's right for them in spite of America and it helps America anyways? Reaganomics.
He makes a
Thinking about
decision, and then you worry about the political party. You don't start with the political parties are supposed to advance the good of America, not the good of the political party.
Right.
That's why we have it.
No, they're supposed to represent what's largely a collection of voters that have a particular philosophy. You guys just have a shitty mafia like leftover. Like a sad party at 2:00 in the morning where most people have left, and so it's like, hey, are we gonna start this party or what?
I mean, I'll tell you one thing that bothers the heck out of me. You know how they want
People who check ID, hotels, bars of soap, because they're always, you lose them.
to change the names of everything. Anybody who had any association with slavery, George Washington, because he had slaves, or Jefferson, who tried everything he could do to free the slaves, and he just couldn't do it. But why don't they change the name of the Democratic Party? The Democratic Party promoted slavery. The Democratic Party almost created its continuation in America.
No. But also the reason we don't change our name is because it's not based on a person's name. It's based on the principle of one person, one vote. The expansion of that idea to a bunch of other people, to include everybody, is kind of the entire point. It's actually living up to its standard. Whereas Republicans are against anybody but land. It is literally the vote of slaveholders that they were trying to reignite.
Democratic Party supported the other side of the Civil War.
Right. And then we had the Civil Rights Act, and Lyndon Johnson said we've lost this. The Democrats have lost the South forever for, I guess he said 50 years, I think. And he was right. And those Democrats became Republicans. The question is, why didn't the Republicans shun those fuckers and say, get your own party?
And the Democratic Party did segregation.
Yeah.
And right
Jim
up until
Crow.
Biden, right up until Biden, his best friend was the Grand Poobah, or whatever you call him, in the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
So that party is completely associated with slavery. On the other hand, the Republican Party was founded to end slavery.
Yeah, Lincoln.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, Lincoln.
I mean,
And oh, the irony. These assholes just want to pretend that the 60s never happened.
going to go back to those days.
It's the same. Dinesh D'Souza pushes this shit all the time. They just want to like leave out that switch part where the Dixiecrats became Republicans.
Well, that's why
they
they
need a
don't
new
want-
name. If we're
no,
gonna-
Rudy, that's why they don't want to go back
The
to
Cleveland
those
Indians
days.
have to change. They should change.
And did you see that?
Well, democracy is the point. Democratic rule is the point. One person, one vote, regardless of sex or race. That's what we stand for.
The actual Native Americans were petitioning that to bring the name back.
Well, they don't.
Yeah, they totally, the actual Native Americans, all of them, since they're all the same.
They don't matter. The Native Americans don't matter. The blacks don't matter. If the blacks mattered, these cities that are setting records for murder, like Philadelphia set a record for murder 2 years ago, more than ever in 250 years.
Baltimore.
Chicago.
Yeah, but also the population's way up too, not by percentage, by actual population. That's always how it's going to be. Sorry. As long as we're a free people anyways.
On weekends is like a war zone.
It is. I mean, it's interesting. I've seen a lot of, I've done a lot of stuff in downtown Chicago, and you can almost not hear the movie over, the war movie over the war outside.
St. Louis, Baltimore. They're all Democratic mayors.
Okay.
Soros paid for DA.
Yes, absolutely.
This is all
Yeah, absolutely.
because of the Democrat Party, and it's racism. Because the people suffering the most there are black people, and they don't care. They don't care about what happens to those black people.
Because I had to go up there because my son went to college there, and so I'd go visit him. Plus, I broke my knee, and I had to live there for 3 months in this
I don't know. I don't want to hear the story. Neither do you.
hotel. But I go outside.
Yeah, you had to. I mean, you break your knee. You got to live in a hotel for 3 months. It's just how it works.
It was that part where downtown.
Right.
Everybody homeless, about 90%, they're black on the streets. In Nancy Pelosi's district.
Okay, 90% of the homeless people in San Francisco aren't black. Just saying. Again, this is another. We got to talk a little bit about Roseanne and to some degree Giuliani's, although definitely Roseanne. The blinders that she goes through life wearing. You can just tell, like she has 3 things she hears, and everything else is just the buzzing of flies to her.
And then she gets down on one knee with an African scarf. I almost puked.
Yeah.
It is disgusting. They totally disfranchised and took everybody's house, and they became homeless, and that was...
Wait a minute. In San Francisco? What the fuck are you talking about? It's one of the most rent-controlled cities in the country.
their thanks
And of course,
for voting Democrat.
Nancy and her husband became zillionaires based on his insider trading.
Yep.
Yep. Because he was at these parties and he was seeing who was there, and he was like, oh, that business looks like it's going to do well. And they put a little bit of money in these like startups because it's fucking Silicon Valley is right next door. And then they made a bunch of money since .com. Gee, who would have ever seen that coming?
That other
Because they're basically retirees, only she's got a paycheck.
people go to jail for. I mean, they are
Also, we'll talk one thing about like the idea that some people can invest in companies that are in their district and maybe they get kickbacks for that district would be the idea that, let's say, the insider trading aspect would be that you get like, there's going to be a big government contract. So you invest in a company that you know is going to get a big government contract before they get the government contract, and before anybody else knows about it, and then you ride that out and then you sell the stock once it's reached a certain point. Or you have a district that you run and you can get money to subsidize a particular business that isn't, that has a low IPO or low stock price, and it's happening. And so you buy in at their point, and then you bring in money into the district through federal funds, and that helps that company grow, and you benefit from that profit under the table. Those would be the two primary insider trading ways that somebody in the House anyways could actually do this shit. Insofar as I know, and I'll have to look. Hold on. Let's just bring it up because it's better. Like rather than Nancy Pelosi's district. It's the 12th congressional district. Let's see if there's a map of it. There should be. San Francisco, open your golden gate. Open your gate and let me in. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to try and find a map of it. Yeah. Okay. So here's the map this fucker out. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, let's see if maybe I can move this over. Yeah. Where's down here? Yeah. It's not really showing. It's like over to the south, but I'll show you. So her district, Nancy Pelosi's district, looks like this. This is it's not very gerrymandered, and quite frankly has a lot of water because of boats and shipping and docks and all kinds of other shit. But this is her district. This is which is part of this little island, this little area over here. It doesn't count this. It's the waterways around this. So they, and the ports is effectively why, because they're under the control of that district in San Francisco. You know what's not in her district? Cupertino, which is where Apple is, for example, or any of that area, the Silicon Valley part that's outside the city, over south of Oakland, and then down by San Mateo and that area where all the startups are, ain't in her district. So she's not bringing funding to those companies by bringing funding to her district. Does that make sense? Like she can't backfill companies that don't deserve it by bringing home, pork barrel projects and getting them funded in her district. So the idea that they just went living in San Francisco, even if they're just at the right parties and they're going, who the fuck is that guy? He's got this startup thing called, whatever, fucking Postmates or something, and they're working on this thing and they're catering tonight. And it's like, oh, this is fantastic. Yeah, they have this thing where they're bringing food in. Like, all right, what's the stock at? Like $3. And all right, well, I'll buy into that kind of stuff. That happens all the time in those kind of parties. It's very different. That is not insider trading. And none of these companies, insofar as I know, have gotten, district aligned information. Now, she was speaker, so she did stuff for the entire country in those terms. But even still, none of it, from a Republican side, there were a lot of tax break stuff that you could argue that there could be a potential for insider trading. But just knowing shit, I mean, they could be just as wrong. Look at the .com bubble, so
fabulously wealthy. But she comes out of a Baltimore political Democrat machine.
Yeah.
That is an example of what's
I feel seen.
wrong with the old American city.
I see. So Baltimore produced the longest sitting female Speaker of the House, and she was a Democrat, and she served honorably the district in San Francisco, and that's what's wrong with the system.
The only thing wrong with the old American city is it's a dictatorship. Right. New York City is not a democracy, a republic. It's a Democrat dictatorship.
Yes, it is. That must break your
except
heart.
For Staten Island. I broke through it.
Well, can we ask, how did you do that? That's what I want to ask.
Because he was helped by the Russian and the Chinese mob.
I broke through it because, first of all, the population was a little different.
You want to talk about hell? Holy shit. Wait.
This makes some difference. It was 5-1 Democrat when I won. It's now 7-1 Democrat.
Geez, it's almost as if they learned their lesson after you were in.
And the Democrats were different.
Yeah, they
I
were.
mean, I got a big Democrat vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I had a real Democrats
Yeah, but then they saw who you really were, of course.
for Rudy group that was almost as strong as my Republican and Independent group. I couldn't get that today.
No.
No, because they've seen the Borat movie.
Today, the Democrats in New York want to put me in jail.
Well, that's because of crimes you committed. Also, I guess that would tie into this thing. Also, the Borat movie.
They'd like to see me. They took away my law license, the Bar Association, because
Because you're a liar and you lied under oath.
they are ideological Democrats.
Or ideological legalists.
And Trump haters.
Well, that's a natural thing, though. That's the default for humanity.
There's a sickness. This Trump thing is a sickness.
Isn't it?
You know, if you just step back from it, what does the guy do that's so bad?
Rape, sexual assault, bragging about it, lying to banks that his properties are worth more, lying to the IRS that they're worth less, perpetrating a fraud on the American people that he was a billionaire this entire time, hiding his taxes when they finally come out. He's indebted to God knows who, having LLCs for over 1,500 LLCs that he's signatory to, 500 plus are just bank accounts. God knows who is on the other side of that because they're blind LLCs, so nobody can even see who's pouring money into these fucking things. It could be anywhere in the fucking world. Engaging in profit making, specifically as president, just through the old post office building, or the fact that he sold an apartment to the dude from CEFC and he's for $5 million, and he's accusing Hunter Biden of being on the fucking take for being engaged in helping the guy try to buy a natural gas processing plant in the United States that he wouldn't actually serve on or be part of. It was just a sales process, but this motherfucker had an empty apartment that the guy just bought from Trump to sit on so that one of these apartments could sit empty but paid for by the Chinese government, running the fucking, the mob ran out of 2 floors in Trump Tower, gambling and prostitution and drug ring. The Chinese mafia did the Alpha Bank and the HSBC. The Chinese bank had a branch in his fucking office during the time he's in the lead up to running for president. Let's see what else. Being fucking gross and orange. Instigating a failed coup against the United States of America, being a violent sociopath and acting like opening fire with a 50 cal on women and children trying to seek asylum in the United States is a viable option for dealing with immigration. Building the wall and making the border more open than it was, like an asshole. I'll think of some more later.
I mean, say you don't like his personality.
I don't like his personality. My God, it's liberating.
But now we look at the condition of the country. He didn't have any wars, right?
Yeah, he did. Russia was still in Ukraine from 2014. He didn't get them out. Syria, deaths of our soldiers in Africa, Afghanistan. He ran on getting us out, never did.
We've got all those people in
They
Ukraine.
don't like that.
Those people in Ukraine would all be alive if he were president, because
Well, if they were, they'd be in pens.
Putin would never have gone in if he were president. I
Horseshit.
don't think there's anybody in the world that believes that.
Israel too.
Israel too. Like this fucking idea. Like they're gonna run on this. I mean, because you can't prove a negative, so they're gonna sell this one all they can. But fucking just get lost with this nonsense.
Israel, I think you never would have had this happening in Israel. It didn't happen.
No, there was never any violence in Israel before Trump, and certainly none during. Let's see. Sorry. Let's see. Let's see. 1 second. I'm trying to find the Olson. I gotta go back far enough. I don't want the news. Let's see. attack during Trump. I'll find it. Give me a second. I'm sorry you have to look at Rudy's fucking face during this. Hold on. I will tell you what. I'll bring this down here. I'll wait for this page to wake up. And then we'll go to you guys. So there's, sorry, that's Nancy Pelosi's district. I'll fix that. 1 second. Hi, guys. Talk amongst yourself. Hold on a second. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Dink. Melbourne. Let's see. Algeria, Quebec, Ottawa. And Abu Dhabi, Sydney, France. Can you imagine, by the way, Trump saying or Biden saying, if I'd have been president during Trump's term, Charlie Hebdo would have never happened? Just think about that for this. It's the same shit. It's the same, yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on. There it is. There we go. Israel. One of the things I have to say, hold on, like if you give a specific date for the fucking things you're trying to look up, and it would be nice if the Google didn't just go, this is the newest thing. Oftentimes I'm looking for the newest thing, and then it gives me something old. It's so weird. Like maybe I'm just asking the wrong way. I need to ask nicer. Meanwhile, this is one of the first things that comes up when I'm looking for stuff on Trump. Jailed Egyptian aid worker freed by Trump administration defends radical terrorist group. I don't condemn Hamas. Says Egyptian American woman freed from an Egyptian jail with the help from the Trump administration in 2017 recently took to social media to praise Hamas and call it morally abhorrent to condemn them in the wake of their terrorist attack. I don't condemn Hamas and never will. Aya Hijazi posted on X on November 7th, a month after Hamas massacred more than 1,400, by the way, Israelis. I don't condemn Palestinians who exhausted every peaceful way on earth to end their occupation and save their lives. They didn't exhaust them. They were in the process of doing it. This was a rope-a-dope. I condemn anyone who asks the world to condemn Hamas. Good, then you condemn me, because fuck off. You are morally abhorrent with reverse standards, one for whites and one for everyone else. I guess because Jews are whites now. Is that the idea? What about the Arabs that live in Israel? The ones that are quite happy and have all the democratic rights. Anyways, that's her. This is Trump after freeing her in 2017. This is Aya Hijazi, an Egyptian American aid worker at the White House. She was released from 3 years captivity in Egypt with the help of the Trump administration. And she's siding with Hamas. So it was a big deal. There she is again. I got her out. Now you can jizz on my eye. Yeah. So the other thing is, let's see. Blink. Where is this? Fact check. The thing. Continue without disabling. Fact check. Trump falsely claims U.S. had no terrorist attacks during his presidency. Yes, these are the things. Okay. Facts first. Trump's claim we didn't have any attacks for 4 years isn't true. The claim is inaccurate. He was referring specifically to attacks by Islamic extremists. Let's see. Let's see. A mass murder. Let's see. Trump's own Justice Department alleged that a mass murder in New York City in 2017, which killed 8 people and injured others, was a terrorist attack carried out by a supporter of ISIS. Trump repeatedly lamented this attack during his presidency. Trump's Justice Department also alleged that a 2019 attack by an extremist member of Saudi Arabia's military, which killed 3 U.S. service members and injured others on a military base in Florida, was motivated by jihadist ideology and was carried out by a longtime, quote, associate of al-Qaeda. In addition, there were a variety of other terrorist attacks during Trump's presidency. Notably, Trump's Justice Department said it was a domestic terrorist attack when one of Trump's supporters mailed improvised explosive devices to prominent Democratic officials, CNN, and other people in 2018. As you do. In 2019, a white supremacist pleaded guilty to multiple charges in New York, including first-degree murder and furtherance of an act of terrorism for killing a black man in March of 2017 to try and start a race war. Good old the White Album, yeah, that giving us helter-skelter. Everybody keeps trying to jumpstart that shit. And Trump's Justice Department described a 2019 massacre at Walmart in Texas as an act of domestic terrorism. The gunman who killed 23 people was targeting Latinos. Trump claimed Nikki Haley, his Republican presidential rival and former U.S. ambassador, had proposed the U.S. take in a large number of refugees from Gaza, but she flip-flopped last week. You saw that disaster after proposing to flood America with refugees from Gaza. And by the way, use the word flood isn't an accident. That's the word that the Hamas leader used. They called the attack the flood, October 7th, and that's what they will call it. There you go. Did you see the Muslim American woman's put down of Susan Sarandon? No, I didn't, but I would love to see it. Tweet it to me or something, or shit it to me. What? Yeah. Anyways, it was obviously a bunch of these. This is let's see, tariffs in it. Let's see. Horrendous, dangerous nations. Which killed 8 people and injured. Yeah. Yeah. This is this guy. Sayfullo Saipov charged with terrorism and murder and aid of racketeering in connection with Lower Manhattan truck attack. This guy, Sayfullo Habibullah Savpom of Patterson, New Jersey, 29, in connection with his alleged terrorist attack, which killed 8 people and injured 12 more. It's the guy that drove the truck through the running path, I think. Is alleged in this, murdered 8 innocent people and injured many more in a calculated act of terrorism in the heart of one of our great cities. We have the right to safely walk on the sidewalk or riding a bike. We will not change our resolve to confront these threats. That happened during Trump. Just remember that happened during Trump. Yeah. So
while he was there, in fact, at this point, if he had been going forward with the Abraham Accords, you'd probably have a pretty darn good alliance between Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the other Arab states.
Egypt.
And that was broken up completely by Biden because...
No, it wasn't. They've added on to it. They were in talks with Saudi Arabia. They haven't shut down the other ones. It hasn't been broken at all. It's like the Chinese tariffs. Biden has actually stacked on top of the ones that Trump put in.
Biden's in love with Iran. Biden wants to say he's a friend of Israel. And he sent hundreds of millions, and he had $6 billion headed to Iran.
Iran was broke.
Yeah.
She's quoting Trump. No, they weren't.
You can't tell me you're my friend if you're giving $6 billion to somebody who wants to kill me.
Well, they're not, though. Not everybody there wants to kill you. It's kind of like, let's imagine there is a standoff. And there's a house, and the person has hostages. Some of the hostages can come and go, but if they don't come back, the person holding them hostage will kill the other people in the house that can't come and go. That's what the Iranian system is right now. And so at some point, if you're the cops outside and you're trying to work your way through this standoff and it lasts a couple of days, like Waco and us, you're going to want to start sending in some fucking sandwiches. Now, is there a chance that the guy, that's causing the standoff also has a sandwich and therefore has enough strength to hold his gun for another day? Yeah. But if the point is to save the hostages, that's part of it. That's the same reason why we have innocent until proven guilty in the United States. Better that, a dozen guilty men go free than one innocent man go to jail is the purpose behind our judicial system, because we want to make sure of that. We weight the justice system in the direction of innocence. And the same, we don't blame people in a country for the awful that is their leadership.
No. I mean, if I'm Bibi, I look at him and say, wait a second, I don't need a friend like that. You're giving $6 billion to a group of people who are dedicated. The most important thing to them is to destroy Israel and kill Jews. And
No, that would be Hamas and a significant portion of the Gazan Palestinian people, not Iran. The Iranian people, if you watch the Jasmine Revolution or the Arab Spring, the vast majority of those folks, if the Iranian regime fell tomorrow, those fuckers would basically be Europeans in an afternoon. As a matter of fact, you want to talk about like white versus anti-white and all this kind of bullshit, because these motherfuckers are always talking about the Iranians like they're goddamn pets. Iran is, let's see, find the, yeah, so Iran is the proper pronunciation of the country, as many of you have pointed out, which I think is a lovely thing. But do you know where the derivation of that word comes from? Anybody have any idea? Anybody? Anybody want to take a flying fucking guess at the phonetic cousin of Iran pronounced with an accent? Anybody? Anybody? Please tell me this isn't the first time you guys are hearing this. Yeah. The root is because of the Iranian of the Aryan people. Like, it is the place of the Aryan people. I am Darius, the great king, the king of kings, the king of many countries and many people, the king of this expansive land, the son of Wishtaspa of Achaemenid, Persian, the son of Persian, Aryan from the Aryan race. The above scripture is one of the most valid written evidences of the history of the Aryan race, and as can be seen, Darius in Persian, the Achaemenian king in the 5th century BCE, declares himself a Persian and from, I think that's a typo, from the Aryan race. Herodotus, the father of history, writes in his book, History of Herodotus, at the same time, in ancient times, the Greeks called Iranians Kaphe, but they were renowned as Aryans among themselves and their neighbors. In another part of his book, Herodotus writes that the Medians were known as Aryans during the certain period. So in 2 of the oldest written human documents, the race of the Iranians has been mentioned as Aryan. This, I just like that detail. Yeah, well, it means a specific group of white. It means that, it's not quite the Caucasus, like the Caucasians. Azra Nomani's X post. I don't know how to forward. Okay, I will. Azra Nomani's X post. I'll look it up. Oh, yeah. Muslim American scolds Susan Sarandon to visit a Muslim country before complaining about Islamophobia in the United States. That's the first time I've heard it? Well, I'm glad to introduce you. I love this. Now do Caucasian, right, because that's from the Caucasus Mountains around the same place, which my favorite Caucasian story, besides the Big Lebowski, of course, which can we just say that he looks like the third Lebowski in this? Like the Lebowski if he never let himself go and just decided to get that job at the Gap. But yes, Iranians are the master race. Yes. Well, the idea is that the Aryans are from that direction. Also, the Syrians believe themselves to be Aryans as well. Hence the alignment with the Germans. Hence the alignment with Hitler himself. Again, you can buy Hitler's stamps and Nazi memorabilia in Syria to this day, right? A lot of blue eyes in that area. A lot of blue eyes, even in amongst, if you're not talking about the sort of Arabs that came in from another direction, the split in Arab community. The Persians are not Arabs. It's a different group, right? So he looks like a Jeffy. Yeah, if he never if the Lebowski never became the dude and just became the dud abides. Right. Yeah, the postage stamps. Yeah. So the Persians are Aryans, and also their group up through mixing in with the Romans, the Greeks, and that whole area up in the Germanic tribes and all that kind of stuff. They all consider it the same. I like that, the dud abides. I just came up with that. That the Caucasians, my favorite is that a bunch of, I think it was in Texas, they decided to have a whites only to fight affirmative action. Anyways, they wanted to have a whites only college scholarship, and they made it, you had to prove that you were Caucasian. You had to have a certain percentage of being a Caucasian, and they used Caucasian as their thing or whatever. Well, the Indian people are all Caucasian. For all practical, legally, technically, they're fucking Caucasians. Don't forget the Celts. Are you kidding? I am one. That's where my folks came through. Half of them, anyways. Yeah. Market zero. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Who's really white? Well, Trump's a lot less orange anyway. Prove you're a Caucasian. Pee in this cup, right? Well, the funny thing is, the people who signed up for that scholarship and got it were all Indians. They were all from India. They were all they're Americans. They're from here, but their genealogy comes from India because they're technically Caucasians and they qualified. So they signed up for this thing and they had the highest fucking scores. So boy, were they pissed. I love that. Yeah.
You gave them $6 billion, pal.
No. Trump gave them that $6 billion. It was held in a South Korean bank because he put a freeze on it. During that time, they were going to unfreeze it in exchange for, what's that phrase? Human life. That's right. Getting our hostages back. Because $6 billion for a country ain't shit, and they would burn through it immediately. And also, it's a drop in the bucket. Really wouldn't affect them in any major way. And it certainly didn't get to Hamas because it never got to Iran, but it never got to Hamas because, did you see the fucking, their missiles are made out of water pipes. They landed in paragliders. They had AK-47s, which are fucking Russian guns. They hacked people to death with machetes. It's not $1 billion endeavor, fuckwad.
I know Bibi has to pretend, but deep down, he's got to know that this friend of Israel is a bunch of political crap.
Oh, you see? That's it, yeah. Oh, you see? I don't know what the fuck that was. That's the... By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. Thanks. Like, subscribe, maybe give a thumbs up. How are you? It's a pretty good show today, I think, overall. Now, I suppose tonight, even though I'm going to go long because I'm not having a show tomorrow because it's Thanksgiving, I'm going to have to leave you with this, folks, because there's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a comb over here, and he's afraid that his buddy's near. All right. Yeah. This is I guess I think this is just a picture of Comer because I don't think he's on. I think this is of Jim Jordan, spelled GYM. Comer raises eyebrows over something strange going on with Biden's family. There's something, guys. There's something weird going on, okay? I don't know what it is. We're going to have to check the whole thing. It makes me nervous. I don't understand, and I don't think you understand. I don't understand. It's hard to even understand what you don't understand, you know? You understand? It's just not possible. Just don't understand it. But, so it's hard to say what you can even, something's weird. 3.5 fucking years, and I think the dots are connecting, and hopefully we're gonna find something out. As do I, 94 Ejac. It's a great movie. Tropic Thunder is hilarious. Yeah, right. He means the Biden crime family. I'm sure that was an oversight on his part. Here we go.
House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan sending a subpoena to Hunter Biden prosecutor Leslie Wolf.
The nerve, considering he's still got an outstanding subpoena. You're not going to bring that up? Probably not.
Wolf, who was ordered to appear before the committee on December 7th, is accused of trying to shield President Biden from certain questions and search warrants related to the Hunter Biden investigation. This just days after the White House.
Wait, his attorney, and by the way, Hunter Biden. So one of the things your attorney does is try to quash subpoenas and not have you have to testify and shit like that, right? You do realize that.
Vowed to fight all subpoenas of the Biden family members.
White House condemns GOP's. You have misrepresented the fact in order to overwhelming evidence to prove your claims. Withdraw these subpoenas and demands for interviews. Yeah. Okay.
Special counsel to the president sent a letter to Republicans accusing them of misrepresenting the facts and.
Yeah, because he can't just. He represents the president. He can't just call him a bunch of fuckheads like I do. But a bunch of assholes. They're a bunch of assholes. Gomer's an asshole. Jordan's an asshole. Just I don't know who could say it better.
Asshole.
Probably Mike Pillow. That's it. Just him and his lumpy pillows. You get the whole thing. Mm-hmm.
Lumpy pillows kiss my ass.
You're a little late on that, Mike. I'm sorry.
Urging them to withdraw all subpoenas and requests for testimony. Joining me right now is Kentucky Congressman, Chairman of the House Oversight Committee,
and Captain of the Dud Squad,
James Comer. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for being here this morning.
Yeah, you're obviously not busy. Also, looking a little ragged, dude. Did somebody in your office just wake you up and make you put on a jacket? Seriously, you look like you've been in a tumble dryer.
Good morning.
So you
morning. Fucking, it is morning. Shit.
heard what the White
Sunday, and I was fucking, woo! We tied one on last night. Yeah, we was at a traditional Eastern Kentucky pork asshole tossing contest.
House wants. They want you to withdraw all of these subpoenas, stop asking any family members to testify publicly or under oath. Your response?
Well, no one's misrepresented the facts more than the White House.
What facts are we referring to?
More than Joe Biden. I mean, if you look at this investigation from the very beginning, all the narratives pre-investigation have been proven to be false.
Well, all right. All the narratives. What narratives would that be?
We found that the Bidens had 20 shell companies. We found that.
No, you haven't. Okay, good example. Rosemont Seneca is not a shell company. Rob Walker's company is not a shell company. The James Biden has a construction company. Hunter Biden is a lawyer and has a law firm. They aren't shell companies. They're companies. Also, for all this, they bounce all they think they're these shell companies, or these shell companies, these shell companies. And why the fuck did James Biden and Sarah Biden just write a fucking check on their kitchen counter to Joe?
10 Biden family members have received funds from foreign nationals all over the world.
Hey, asshole. Do you want to do the thing where we trace the money from Maria Butina through the NRA to you? You want to do that?
Proven that the Bidens have received over $25 million from these foreign nationals, and they can't explain one single thing they did.
And wait a minute. How did it get up to 25 million? You can't stack money that you haven't. Okay, this is how they did it. So they took the money that Hunter made largely from Burisma. That was his biggest paycheck. Some of the other investments that they've had, I think maybe James's Iraq contracts to build schools and houses or whatever. Maybe they're stacking that in there. And then they're adding the fake $10 million in bribes. He's just throwing that on the pile.
To earn the money. We've proven over and over again that Joe Biden hasn't been truthful with the American people.
No, you haven't.
Because of our credible, substantive investigation.
Substantive?
Focused mainly on bank records. And remember,
Yeah, it is focused mostly on bank records. Bank records. During what years are you really focused? The years when he was no longer a federal employee? And so let me get this straight. Jamie, is it? So your whole thing is you and your Republican colleagues are going to attack private citizens who are in business or may be in business or might be in business, period, with the power of the federal government because you're small government conservatives. Gotcha.
Records don't lie, Maria, as you know.
You're right. They don't lie. You do, but the records don't.
We now are in the deposition phase. We have specific questions.
Yeah, I have a question. Why don't you have a picture of Rob Walker? Why is Mervyn Tan incognito? Or sorry, Mervyn Yan.
For Biden family members and people associated with the Biden family members.
Because of stuff that happened in 2017 and 2019? Explain.
About specific transactions. We want to know what these companies were and what the Bidens did to receive the millions and millions of dollars from our enemies around the world. So the White House shouldn't be so.
So you're not concerned with what Trump received money from our, quote, enemies around the world. Like you do realize he's in business with the Saudis. Like the Saudis literally brought their live golf tournament to his properties specifically. Starting with the one where he buried his wife who was cremated in a giant coffin filled with what?
Surprised that we've reached the point now to where we want to bring these people in
and ask them, where's the evidence? Just tell us. I've been looking. I can't fucking find it. Can you tell me where in this document you were criming? I can't find it.
And interview and or depose them about specific questions about very suspicious and shady bank transactions.
So do you have any
what suspicious and shady bank transitions are those?
expectation that the White House is going to stop these testimonies? I mean, James Biden, the president.
I don't know. Maybe they're just going to make him wait in line behind Jim Jordan.
His brother is expected to testify before your committee in 2 weeks on December 6th. Hunter Biden is expected to testify a week later on December.
No one expects him to testify.
13th. Do you think these are going to happen?
Well, if I were one of the Bidens, I would want to come defend my good name. I mean,
what? Tell that to Jim Jordan. Fuck you talking about?
Every time I brought something out, Maria, many times on your show,
they just laugh at me. They just laughing. I don't know why or what or who or how or when. They just laughing at me.
The White House has attacked me.
Yeah, but while laughing. To be fair.
And claim that I misrepresented the facts. Well, now here's their opportunity.
Their opportunity, absolutely.
To set the record straight.
Why should they have to set a record straight? You don't get to make the record crooked and make it someone else's responsibility to set it right again. It's a waste of fucking time. Here's what you have to do. You have to prove something is crooked. And then you can bring fucking charges or what have you. Your fishing expedition looks like Clinton do-overs, and it's annoying.
We have their bank records. They know we have their bank records.
Right. And you notice that they don't seem to give a shit.
They know we have email correspondence. They know.
Yep, they know that you have all of it. And they don't seem nervous at all.
The laptop was real despite the fact.
No, it wasn't. No. You don't get to throw that in there. No, you can't gish gallop that shit in there.
That they worked with the intelligence community to say it was Russian disinformation.
No, the contents of the hard drive that Rudy bought in Ukraine from Russians and brought back was Russian disinformation, a mix of real files stolen from either the Burisma servers and Hunter Biden's phone, mixed with fake documents thrown together in a mishmash of what the Washington Post called a forensic nightmare because there's no metadata on any of this shit. And then and here's what we're supposed to believe. This is what we're supposed to believe. We're supposed to believe that Hunter Biden, in the middle of his father's lead up to running for president, drunk out of his mind, with 3 waterlogged laptops, wanders into a repair shop in Delaware that he has never gone to before and asks for help from the only repair shop owner in the fucking world that can't see 6 inches past his face and happens to know Rudy Giuliani's lawyer personally. Really? 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 Fucking hell.
To peddle a false media narrative. They know everything that we have, and they can probably guess 95% of the questions that we're going to ask. So,
yeah. And the problem is they're going to have a hard time understanding you with your head up your ass.
Drop your shorts and bend over, Mr. Babar.
this shouldn't be a very difficult thing for the Bidens to come in and tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also shouldn't be a very difficult thing if you have all those bank records and you're drowning in evidence. The evidence is everywhere. It's self-evident. You don't. It's so evidentiarily full. It is self-evidence. It is self-evident. And you don't. Why do you even need them to come in? There's so much evidence. Just show it. Just, you know what I mean? Don't even talk to Maria about it or around it with your bloated ass. You were drunk last night and you weren't expecting to be on Maria's morning show this morning, and even though they're on an hour earlier than you still slept in, and I'm just saying, drink more water. You're starting to get I'm getting a very distinct Glenn Beck bloat feeling from you. But that you should be able to show all the evidence without ever having to do an interview. Just fucking go through it. Just go. It's not about what it looks like, not about what it feels like, not that stuff's fucking hinky or confusing. Just nail it. Just see this from this guy, and this guy said, I need help destroying America. And they said, okay.
And I expect them to come. And I can tell you, Maria, after speaking with Speaker Johnson last week, both Jim Jordan and I have confidence that if anyone does not obey our subpoenas, that Congress will then react to hold these people accountable.
Dun, dun, dun. Including Jim?
This investigation has been very transparent from day one.
Yeah.
We've told people we were going to follow the money. The whole purpose of the investigation was to determine whether or not Joe Biden had lied to the American people. We know the answer to that. He has many times.
Nope.
The second purpose is to determine whether or not our president is compromised by our enemies around the world because of the millions of dollars his family's received.
Sorry. What's he getting from China? What's China getting from him?
It's a very dangerous moment in time.
It is very dangerous.
Because China has amped up its aggression against the United States, from surveillance to police stations, the surveillance balloon.
Yeah, you notice those police stations were there, and they weren't just in the United States. They had set them up, for those of you who don't know, China was setting up these private Chinese police stations in countries all over the world. They were in France, Germany, and England, and the United States, and in Canada. And the United States was one of the first to discover them, along with the UK, working with our UK partners. When, who was president? Joe Biden was president. They existed all during Trump's presidency. Do you remember hearing anything about them during Trump's time in office? Did you hear a thing about them while they operated with impunity? No, you didn't. Biden gets in office and they're gone. Isn't that the fucking point? You could all boil down like all of their confusion and the knot they tie themselves into, essentially with the whole like fentanyl being seized coming across the border analogy. Like they just don't get that seizing it is the fucking point. That you should be getting most of it.
COVID-19 escaping its lab and then
escaping its lab,
covering up about it.
Wait, covering up about it? She does realize that happened under Trump, right?
So many things, bullying our ships and our planes in international waters. So Politico is now
and I have to say our ships are all in therapy now.
Reporting that the impeachment effort is heading into the final stage. Judiciary
Yes, it's going to die an early death.
Committee Chairman Jim Jordan told Politico that a decision on
Then we can decide on whether or not there's articles. Jordan told Politico, predicting the decision would happen early next year. Uh-huh. Yeah. Spoiler alert, it ain't happening.
The floor vote could happen early next year. How are you expecting all of this to play out?
Well, I know that an overwhelming majority of our colleagues in the House realize that we've witnessed public corruption by the President of the United States. The President
Have you? Well, yes, you have. When Trump was president,
hasn't been truthful, which has made it worse for him. His standing in the House is about as poor as you can be with.
I think Nixon probably had it worse.
Respect to the overwhelming majority of the members. So, when we're home.
No, there's not even, again, he's talking about the overwhelming majority of the members of his party, which is not overwhelming. A majority of the members is not the majority of members. He's not even talking about, not the entire Republican Party, like the Republican half of the House, which is in control, but just barely. They don't even have all of them on board with this shit. Of course they don't have enough votes to pass this shit.
Like I am in Kentucky this week, we listen to people and they're frustrated.
Yeah, because you're their representative, though. I mean, don't lay that shit on us.
Frustrated that throughout the years
that you're their representative. They're very frustrated that they have to look at your face, listen to you talk. And you go on and you keep pretending. You boring asshole.
Congress has conducted investigations. They've proven.
You sure you weren't drinking with your constituents last night?
Wrongdoing, and yet very seldom is anyone held accountable. So I think.
Gee, I'm starting to get the idea that you guys are full of shit.
I think there's a willingness in our conference to hold the Biden administration accountable.
Say accountable again, motherfucker. Say accountable. What the fuck do you mean accountable? Accountable to who? For what? For having LLCs and being from Delaware? Everybody in Delaware has a fucking LLC, you dumbass. That's how this shit works. Delaware is the most incorporated state in the entire country. Motherfucker, go look at the LegalZoom website. It's like 2 places you can incorporate. Delaware and fucking Nevada. The only people who don't go click the Delaware box are fucking old school Italians. Asshole.
For high crimes and misdemeanors. And what we've uncovered is that
is what?
Very many, there are 3 to 4 major government agencies that were investigating the Bidens for the.
Great. And how'd that work out?
Same thing that we've been investigating.
And it didn't go anywhere, did it? So,
public corruption. And yet they were told to stand down.
What? Stand down? You mean the IRS whistleblowers? Say stand down again.
Mentioned earlier that Leslie Wolf has been subpoenaed by the Judiciary Committee. She's a central.
Yeah, I missed that. We were all yawning.
Figure in the government cover-up. You have 2 concerning things here with respect to holding Joe Biden accountable.
Get to the fucking point.
You have the actual crimes the Bidens have committed, which range from money laundering to bribery, and you.
Just show those. Show what the bribery is for. Either somebody was made to do something they wouldn't have done otherwise, or they made somebody else do something they wouldn't have done otherwise. That's how bribery works. Show the fucking bribery. That shouldn't be hard.
You also have the cover-up.
You can't cover up something that ain't a crime.
And what Jim Jordan.
Ignoring your dumb ass is not a cover-up. Laughing at your dumb ass is not a cover-up.
Jordan's focused on is the cover-up.
Yeah.
Ironically, wait a minute. Let me get this straight, fuckhead. So you put the guy from Ohio State University who was the assistant wrestling coach in charge of looking the other way while people were sexually assaulted. You put that guy in charge of what now? Of what? What was the word you said? What was it? What was it?
And what Jim Jordan's focused on is the cover up.
Yeah.
The cover up. No shit. I guess you're going for a whole set a thief to catch a thief. Say cover up again, you dumb motherfucker.
And
Say cover up again.
Leslie Wolf, it seems, is where all roads lead to when you look at the cover up. When the IRS was told to stand.
What the fuck is this? Evidence against President Biden. $20 million in payments from foreign sources. Not evidence, information. And also, they don't all go to... All right, never mind. Hunter Biden's messages and infamous D.C. dinner. Both of which happened when Joe was no longer in office. Fuck off. Whistleblower testimony. The three assholes from the IRS who wanted, by the way, to use evidence, alleged evidence, from the fake laptop, which would have blown a hole in the actual case they had against Hunter Biden for tax evasion. Because any first-year lawsuit would have gotten thrown out, dum-dum.
Stand down. When the Department of Justice was told to stand down. And when the
Say stand down again. Stand down. The fuck?
FBI was told to stand down.
Say stand down again.
Person's
One more time. One more time. I wish you had more time.
name continues to emerge in all of these cover-ups, and that's Leslie.
House Republicans released memo on scope of impeachment inquiry. Will span the time of Joe Biden's vice presidency to the president, including his time out of office. You can't impeach somebody for shit they did while they were out of office unless it was the engaging in a fucking insurrection. Ahem. Will investigate whether Biden, as vice president, changed policy because of money given to family. Spoiler alert, no.
Wolf, and we'll be hearing from her very soon.
Well, what a sad situation that you.
It is sad. It is sad that we're both, you, me, him, my entire audience are having to watch this dumb motherfucker.
You can have a president accept all of these millions of dollars from an adversary, China, and then...
You mean like Trump's $17 million in his secret Chinese bank account, or all the money that Eric bragged about getting from China for all the deals, or all the like Chinese members of Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster and the LA Golf Club and all that shit, and people who the guy from CEFC who bought a fucking apartment that he never lived in Trump World Tower? You mean shit like that? How about all the people who bought out entire floors of the old post office hotel when Trump was president that they never fucking stayed in?
Watch that same individual go so soft on China, who has been...
Soft on China? Are you out of your fucking mind? Jesus Christ, woman. None of the Trump tariffs have been rolled back, you dumb fuck. And they don't even have access to our technology as far as chips anymore. Biden made people choose between working for China or their U.S. citizenship. Eat shit, you dumbass.
Paying him for so many years.
Paying him what? $40K through a loan from his brother that came from an American company? The fuck?
In terms of the response to all of this aggression. And you mentioned how people are feeling that you're talking with during this Thanksgiving week. A new poll finds a majority of Americans now believe President Biden was involved with Hunter's foreign business deals.
Yeah, but he wasn't. That's because you're a liar. Congratulations, Maria Bartiromo. You're a success at being full of shit.
Harvard Cap's Harris poll finds 60% said that they believe Joe Biden helped and participated in Hunter Biden.
He did participate. A lot of people participate. Who doesn't at some point? I mean, whenever I'm exercising very heavily, or you bring me out of the fridge and set me on the counter while you're getting a glass of milk, sometimes I will participate.
60% said that they believe Joe Biden helped and participated in Hunter.
Yes, I will often participate. It makes my frosting a little runny. But at the same time, it makes me cool and refreshing.
Hunter Biden's business. 40% said that he was not involved. The poll also finding 55% view Hunter Biden unfavorably. 48% view Joe Biden unfavorably, Chairman. But you're not really seeing...
48%. So he's got a 52% do view him favorably. Is that... Hold on.
48% view Joe Biden unfavorably.
So 52% view him favorably. Oops.
Chairman, but you're not really seeing that ripple through the agencies, right? They're focused
Yeah, it's almost like they're busy working.
on Trump. Look what's going on in New York, a gag order on Trump. Look what's going on in Colorado, trying to take Trump's name off of the ballot.
Yeah, we got to end this whole states' rights bullshit. The states have too much freedom. The federal government needs to enforce a unique uniform code of judicial prudence on all the states, dictated on high from, well, obviously not, you don't want with Joe Biden in charge, but, you know, during the next guy, whoever that is.
For 2024. And yet this corruption appears to be in plain sight.
Appears? Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, no, she did not. Oh, she fucking no, she did not. She did not wind this whole fucking clip up with appears to be. You didn't say appears to be to me, did you?
Off of the ballot for 2024. And yet this corruption appears to be in plain sight, certainly.
Appears to be in plain sight. Hold on, goddammit. It appears to be in plain sight. You can't, first of all appearances are in plain sight. That's how they're apparent, one would think. But also, if they're in plain sight, they don't appear to be anything. They are the fucking thing. You can see them. A smoking gun is an analogy. Unless it's an actual smoking gun, you dimwit.
If you believe your findings.
Which no one does.
Yeah. You know, what I would say to the polls, that shows, right?
Look, leave the Polish people out of this. They have enough to deal with Russians trying to get agents provocateur across their border right now.
Now the score is the House Oversight Committee 1, and the media and the deep state bureaucracy 0. You know, despite.
Lord, why me, Lord? Why? You give other YouTubers fun and silly clips to deal with. Me, you give a ton of shit.
The media continuing to try to paint the narrative that there's nothing to see here. The American people.
Oh, there's something to see here. You failing.
People get it. They realize that.
What? Syphilis? I wouldn't go to Mar-a-Lago. You can't sit down anywhere.
Something strange is going on here. Why in the world has Joe Biden's family, including grandchildren, received millions of dollars in wires from foreign nationals? And
they haven't.
And they can't explain what they did to receive a single penny of it. And the fact.
Well, one of them went to school and an older relative paid for their schooling.
The fact that Joe Biden has lied over a dozen times about his knowledge and involvement in his family's corruption makes every American angry. And that.
Nope. Look, I may seem angry, but that's just my face. I have resting fuck you face. But in reality, I'm a happy guy right now. I'm actually enjoying this. You know what I mean? It's kind of like going to a sporting event where like your team's already out of the playoffs, so you go to the rivals game and you don't give a fuck who gets fucked up in the game, so you just yell shit. Yeah, it's like that. I'm having a great time. I'm here. I got a pretzel. I got a Dr. Pepper. I'm ready to go.
Poll showed 60%. That was a Democrat poll. I would say that poll is much higher than that. But
you haven't seen the evidence? Better check yourself. Better watch yourself. Don't start this shit, man.
In the 40%, that would include the entire media apparatus in Washington, D.C., as well as all the government agencies that are supposed to be the ones investigating this. You know, traditionally, when you have public corruption at the highest levels, you have the media digging into it.
Right. So it could be that they've just lost interest in public corruption because it just doesn't get ratings anymore after Trump. People are just over it. They've seen so much corruption. It's like an old show they're tired of. Or there isn't any, And you're a fucking moron.
Have government agencies like the FBI and the IRS and the CIA digging in.
And the CDC and the NIH and OPEC. If I had any more of that diesel fuel, they'd have to let me join that OPEC.
Into it. Not only do we not have that scenario, we only have the House Oversight Committee investigating it, and
yes, because everyone else is busy doing real shit.
We have the media and the government agencies attacking the Oversight Committee.
Unbelievable.
For having the audacity.
Terrible. It's terrible. It's unbelievable that no one believes you.
To investigate this.
Wait, no. Double negative. It is completely believable.
Everything we know, Maria, is because of the work of the House Oversight Committee
Yes.
and our staff.
I know.
You mean them watching online videos on BitChute?
We're going to continue to dig, and we're going to continue to be transparent with the American people, and that's why the polling.
Oh, you're already transparent, dummy. We can see right through you. And did this motherfucker say continue to dig? Why would you have to continue to dig if you're up to your fucking neck in evidence?
It's so overwhelming.
If it's overwhelming, why do you have to keep digging? You've turned the cupcake into Jerry Seinfeld. That's not right. Why would you keep digging if the hole is as deep as it's ever gonna get? If you're surrounded by dirt, stop digging. What in the world?
In favor of our investigation, and not just getting to the bottom of this, but holding someone accountable.
Somebody, anybody, fuck, can we hold somebody accountable? Snatch some dude off the street and hit him with a rubber hose. I'm sick of waiting for somebody.
For criminal wrongdoing.
No, that's right. People want to see accountability here.
They just don't know for what.
And you've exposed so much, Congressman. I want to thank you for that, because
yeah, thanks for exposing the whatever they exposed. The thing they did. There was something they exposed. They exposed I can't think of anything. Maybe he just showed her his dick at a holiday party.
half of the public would not know half of what you have reported had.
Say half again. Say half again. Half of half. Half of half. Did this numbskulls just say half of half? The fuck out of here.
Had you not done so, what do you want to ask Hunter?
You want to talk about done so? That's my nickname for him.
Biden, if he does in fact sit for you on December 13th, if in fact the DOJ does.
What are you going to ask him? Why would you smoke crack if snorting cocaine gives you the same high? Also, can I have the number for that one hooker?
Not insert itself and stop that testimony.
Well, what we want to know is what were all these companies?
What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm sorry. What do you want to know? You want to know what were all these They were criminal enterprises. You have proof that they're criminal enterprises. You're up to your fucking beady little puffed up eyes in evidence. What do you mean? Why do you have to ask him?
What was the purpose of these companies? What did you do to receive this $3 million? What did you do to receive this $250,000?
And these are questions you would ask of any business person if you don't understand their fucking job? Do you grill your fucking plumber until he screams at you, "Stop shitting bricks, you fuck"?
$1,000. And then we have a lot of questions about loans for both Hunter and Jim Biden. You owe this person $500,000. You owe this person $5 million. You owe this person $250,000.
How does he owe people all this money if he got $1 billion from China?
Were you ever going to pay him back? Do you have any terms of the
Jesus Christ. What are you, a collection agency now? No wonder he fucking hangs up on you.
loan? Do you make any interest payments? How did you list this on your taxes? You know, the reason I never did go after their taxes, even though a lot of armchair quarterbacks were saying we need to go after the taxes, is that people cheat on their taxes. I've seen a lot of tax returns in my lifetime.
Yeah, like you and your brother.
Thing that you can't cheat on are bank statements. That's why we followed the
Yeah, you can. You just have another fucking bank account.
bank statements.
Yeah.
And if you looked at just the Biden's taxes, all this money that they've deposited that they're listing as loans never would have been included in their taxes. There's nowhere on your tax form to list loans. That's why the Bidens are doing it. And
that's why the president fills out a financial statement that includes any loans outstanding. And by the way, any loans outstanding might be exactly why his brother paid him back right before he ran for office, so he wouldn't have an outstanding loan to his fucking brother that he would have to list. Like, Jimmy, I need you to fucking pay me back so I don't have to put this shit on my financial disclosure and people have to wonder why I loaned you money. Pay me fucking back, deal with your own shit. I'm running for president, I don't need this kind of gack up. That would explain 100% why they paid him back when they did.
we believe that these loans are
What? You what?
That's why the Bidens are doing it. And we believe that.
Oh, you believe. Oh, so the committee room is a fucking church now? Oh, well, yeah, praise. We believe. Put your hands in the air if you believe. If you believe in some way, ladies and gentlemen, you can believe that these bank records are the work of the devil himself, the devil. Oh, well.
These loans are somewhere near $10 million.
Based on?
And it doesn't appear to have any, there are no transactions for interest or even principal payments on the loan. So we believe
there's no listing of actual loans of the actual money. Why would there be any of that shit?
That's another area where the Bidens were evading taxes.
So it's tax evasion on top of money laundering and bribery then?
Yes.
Wow.
And
wow, not tax evasion. Shit.
And securities fraud, and the list goes on and on.
Congressman.
Securities fraud? Doesn't that only work if they're actually real companies?
And thanks very much for your reporting, and we will be following this investigation.
His reporting? Hey, moron. He's on the fucking committee. He's not reporting. He's not a... Well, fuck. Maybe she just outed him. Maybe he's just one of Fox News' operatives in the fucking government at this point. He's just an investigative reporter posing as a dopey, puffed up fuckhead from Eastern Kentucky.
Certainly. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, not true.
Thanks, sir.
Happy Thanksgiving. How dare you wish him a happy Thanksgiving? The country's in hell. Fucking hell.
You too, Maria.
You too, Maria. Up here, please come down anytime. Join us. We'd love to have you. At the house, maybe sometime. I don't know. All right, I can do this. Give me 1 second. Before we close out, hold on. Is there a little fella around here anywhere? Yeah, boys. Here he comes. Did you, Chiples? Did you, Chiples? There he is. There he is. Chiples. Say hi, Chiples. With the buddy. Yeah. How you doing? That's good stuff. Hi. That's the boy. What you doing? What you doing, silly boy? Huh? Yeah? You alright? You were sleeping, and I woke you up with I did the snack noise to get him to come out. That's why he's like salivating like one of Pavlov's dogs. It's a chipple. It's a chipple. He's a harbor seal posing as a cat. I don't know if you know this. Yeah. Hi. What's going on? What's going on? What's he doing? What's he doing? You see that? He's like, what's that noise? There's noise over by where you get food from. You might want to go check it out. I don't know if you noticed that. Did you hear that? There's like an intruder. They're probably getting my food right now. So you might want to check them out. You should probably follow me. I'll take you to where the food is, and we can protect it together. He does the same shit every time. I'm not falling for it, dummy. I'm not. Hold on one second. Hold on. Let's see if we can do this. Boink. There he is. Where you going? Where you going? Where are you going? He's like, over here. The snacks are this way. What are you doing? You want a snack? I'll get you one. It's like, I'm just going to hang out here for a little while. If that's cool. Yeah, that's a live cat cam. Cat cam is back by popular demand. It largely, I don't know what happened. Just sometimes my software just forgets. I don't know why. It's fun that way. Anyways, love you guys. Have a lovely Thanksgiving tomorrow. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Over the weekend, if you're thinking about you miss me and stuff, and you're like, hey, there's no show, whatever, just like and subscribe, and then maybe boost one of the clips or something. Go reminisce about go watch the videos of all these people breaking me, quote unquote. But until then, I adore you. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. It was